Am I the only viewer here? Who said that? Apple Pie 1126. How you doing, Apple Pie? This is gonna get opened live after I'm done with the coffee. I'm gonna just prep some other stuff. Yeah. This is gonna be a longer stream than normal because I got so much fun stuff planned tonight. Brand new watermelon pasta. Just a lot of fun tonight. So exciting. Garlic. Someone said something. Yeah, I'm doing great. What coffee? This is a French press. I added a little bit of nutmeg, um, and cinnamon and a little sea salt to it. And it's also some of that Cafe Bustio espresso and one that I got. I can't remember. It was like a French dark roast. Yes. This is boiling up. So, last couple days ago, I made some protein powder. I'll show it to you. Made some protein powder out of watermelon seeds, and I want to make more, but I want to grind it finer. So, because the finely ground watermelon protein powder just tasted amazing. I had some uh, last night actually, and so, but I need more seeds in order to warrant grinding more. That needs to do its thing for a second. Yeah. Use this blend. more sense to chop the veggies and then do the watermelon? Or chop the watermelon, do the veggies? I got an idea. So, what if we do half of the watermelon, just check the flavor of it, and then make dinner? That sounds like a plan. So, disconnect this, and then we're going to still stream. So I'm going to bring the camera over. Just washing my blade thoroughly so that way we can what's it called? Uh Not have the watermelon. Oh, that's my floor. I'm tearing up my floor. This is what people want to see. This is what we want to see right here. I'm tearing up my floor because I'm gonna redo my floor. This is the garlic I just cut, so that's gonna go in a pasta here. We're gonna chop these up in a second. Well, I'll put the coffee cup so you can see. There we go. I got a little bag for the. Okay, so I'm going to cut this where the husks. Is it a husk or is it a rind? It's so beautiful. I don't know if I want to cut it. You're my baby, and I love you so much. My watermelon, maybe your lunch. There we go. So, see how. Whoa! Wow! Bursting, bursting with fun. Whoa! Wow! That really popped open there. Okay, so I'm going to chop these up. I'll have two plates. Um, one for the rind, and then one for the actual watermelon, food part. There we go. Now we're seeing some pink. That's what we want. So excited. So excited. It looks kind of like a pumpkin with its top there, doesn't it? I love gemming watermelon, so it looks like you could wear it on your finger. I married you with my watermelon. Gemming it. Imagine, imagine getting your fiance a watermelon-sized ring. They'd be like, "Wow, that's true love." Okay, that ain't cheap. You better make that last forever, Bubsy. Although my dad says a lot of these diamonds these days, people are going with the synthetic diamonds. It's kind of like just carbon. Anyway, I mean, it's just like you just gotta do whatever's gonna make her happy, right? It's like that's a good business plan. I have a marketing campaign, Willie. Okay, what's that? Let's let's change the price so it's just 2 to 3 months of whatever the person makes is appropriate. So it's an interactive price. But so they have to work the entire year, and we and then they have to pay 3 to 4 months worth, 3 to 5 months of that year in taxes, another month for their church, and then 2 months 2 months for the ring. Yep, you're getting it, Willie. Okay, so what are they gonna have left over? Not a problem. Okay, sounds good to me. Let's send it to the presses. Dee dee dee. Wow, this is so weird. This looks like a weird thing. Here, let's. Oh no. I think I made a watermelon talks utot. Transporter code 10, are you sure? Yep. All right. You know what? I think I'm not going to have enough room here. This is a lot of rind. Running out of room. Okay. Trying to get pinker. Look at that. Look at that color. Ding, ding, ding. That's so cool. Who wants this part? No one. I know who gets that part. Bugs. You know what? Ooh, this is starting to look good. Okay, I need room. So I'm gonna put this in the bag. And then this is just this part, so it doesn't. What? Okay, well I'm not eating that part, so it doesn't matter that it fell on the ground. Okay, now we're talking, everybody. Great. Whoa. Okay. Oh man, I don't want to accidentally not compost this, so I'm just gonna be right back. One second. Watch my watermelon. Make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Thank you. Thank you, America. Survive that. Look what this little piece is. Okay. Get a little cutting meat. Okay, so let's just take a little piece off here. See how it tastes. Those seeds. Okay, this piece seems like it has some rind there, but well, that was very refreshing. This one's got a little bit of crunch to it. Interesting. A little crunchy. Okay, so the pieces that have seeds in them tends to be sweeter. The more seeds, the sweeter it is. You know, this one, I like this. That tastes good. That tastes good. We have just scientifically proven that watermelon, organic watermelon that I grow in my garden, tastes good. There you go. This is my, let's see, 1, 2, 3. This is my fourth watermelon that I've harvested in my garden. And this one tastes good too. So there we go. That means I really like watermelon. Okay. Oops, I don't want to put that in my coffee. Okay. Good. Let's see what it's like closer to the middle. Flip that over. Bam. See if we have any colors. Wow. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. That's good. Mm-hmm. Good looking piece right here. None of it is making it to the plate right now. And I'm not going to be able to. Okay, I got an idea. I'm just going to do this part and I'll save the rest for later and I'll work on dinner. Otherwise, I'm just going to eat the entire watermelon in one sitting, which is not appropriate. Watermelon should be eaten in 1.5 sittings to be appropriate. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There we go. I'll just put it in the cup. Each piece of watermelon is like a little victory at your life. A little piece of life victory. Yeah. That's how we win at life, everybody. Yep. Okay, that's pretty good. Put that in the hole there. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, we got this. That goes in there. Uh-huh. I want to eat this part. Excellent. Captain, we have detected a spatial anomaly that's blocking our starship from getting to the appropriate area. Send Untitled Chapters after he hasn't had his lunchy yet. Affirmative, Captain, I will do that. Captain, Tyler Jaggers has cleared the nebula. It's now in my belly. Excellent. Make sure not to feed him for another 1,000 years, so that way we can use his power again. Dee, dee, dee. Mm-hmm. Wow. Great. Look at all these seeds that I've collected. Yes, and I shall have more. I grow in power. Okay. Watermelon gem. Yeah. Time for watermelon gem to go in its home. Watermelon gem. Okay. One, two, this. Yeah. Look. Watermelon. See. Don't want to waste that watermelon juice. Not one bit. Mm-mm. Watermelons don't grow on trees, you know. They grow on vines. Imagine having your own watermelon vineyard. A yard of vines. Vine yard. Actually, it would be pretty funny. It was like, oh yes, this is a vintage 1877 watermelon juice, and like, this vintage 1877 watermelon fermented watermelon juice. Maybe it tastes good. I don't know. That sounds like the kind of thing that would make an elephant drunk. The hell sound was that? That was probably just the ground making a sound. I don't know. Weird. You know it's getting weird when the house makes weird sounds. That's just that just scares me. I don't know about that. Mm. Yeah, I'm excited about eating dinner tonight. Mm. Nothing gets you in the mood for having dinner than doing some cement work. Yeah. No. I'm gonna make a lot of saucy tonight because I want sauce. I want sauce and I'm the boss. I'm the boss with sauce. Sauce, sauce. You get me? Okay, so uh, hey man, what about me? What do I look like? Chopped liver? Nope. You look like someone who's gonna be a chopped onion. Boo doo boop. Why'd you do it? And co-starring the show, co-star of the show, Three Tomatoes. Wow, this is gonna be a great TV show. Okay, so the safety first. If you ever are cutting a tomato and it starts going like that, you can either go and sharpen your knife, or if you're lazy, you can just go like this and then do it on the squishy side. And just be careful. You can lose a finger if you're not careful. So that's what you do. So if it goes like that, you're fine. No problem. But sometimes it won't. So you go to the fleshy part and then it's not a big deal. Even if they stick together, I cook my tomatoes so long that like it doesn't matter. Most of cooking doesn't matter unless you're doing candy. Then everything matters. That's why most people buy candy. They don't make candy because it takes a lot of effort and work. But the payoff is awesome with candy. You get like days and days worth of little treats that keep you going. So the payoff is huge. But the effort is serious. A serious effort to make candy right. But I would say of all the dishes, like, okay, let's go back a step. Rigatoni Arrabbiata used to be hard for me to do. Okay, it would always end up being more like a marinara-y thing, not correct. The key to a good arrabbiata is having pepper and cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper. That's the key. You need both. And I don't do the flakes. We're not flakes over here. Flaky. Do the powdered pepper. And then, of course, chili powder. And, of course, the sea salt and normal salt. Regular pepper, a little bit of garlic, salt, garlic, real garlic. If you can get it, which I did just already chopped earlier. Tomatoes, any kind will be fine, but Roma tomatoes classic. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna be doing amazing tomatoes if any of the ones that I got the seeds of manifest next year. Hopefully I did that right when I fermented them. Probably check on those seeds. I'm gonna check on my seeds right now. Tomatoes, seeds. Seem fine. So that's good. Great. Bring this a little closer so you can see what I'm doing here. Bring that closer. A lot of people get weirded out by mushrooms because they're just like, they're so squishy. You know what else is squishy? America? Your brain tissue. Actually, I don't know if your brain tissue is squishy. I've never felt a human's brain before. But I have had shrimp heads before. So, oh, okay, that is the ground making that noise. That's good. It's not some kind of monster, which would be scary. Halloween's over here, people. So, let's see. Shrimp heads have brains in them, unless it's a really, really dumb shrimp. And then what happens is when you're eating the shrimp brains, because usually when you have the fried shrimp head thing, um, you eat the whole head, even the eyeballs. And you know what? You just get used to it. It's just a little crunchy eyeballs. Okay. So let's say you're eating the crunchy eyeballs of the shrimp head brain. You'll notice the brain is a little bit squishy. Okay. So my theory is that mushrooms, since they're squishy and your brain's squishy, there's probably a good chance that they're good for your brain squishy parts because mushrooms are kind of like the brains of the forest. If you don't believe me, ask the forest. And if it doesn't answer you, it's probably because you don't know the right password. And I'm not going to tell you the mushroom password. Well, it changes every week. It's one of those um, decoder rings. Um, so maybe we could use the rings of a tree trunk as the decoder ring to figure it out. That would be cool. This this podcast is getting weird. I don't know about this. You're probably thinking like, wow, this is all so much stuff. The whole thing is it's just nutrients, man. So the nutrients are going to all shrink down into the base of the pasta sauce before I add some of the pre-made secondary base, stuff, which will be really, really good. But if I cook this part first, it's going to make the pasta sauce super, 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 super epic flavor. Like some people will just take a jar of pasta sauce and then they're good. And, it's cool, but really all you're doing is giving yourself a salt bomb. Okay, let me explain. Okay, so here's an example of a basic pasta sauce. Do you see the nutrition facts? It has 18% of salt for the day, 2 grams of protein, which is like and then a little bit of sugar, and that's it. There's no actual nutrients in this sauce. Okay, and there doesn't. That's not its job. The job of the sauce is to get you able to eat the. So we got some rigatoni here. Rigatoni. So the goal of the sauce is to get it so you can eat the rigatoni, which there you get a little bit of fiber, which is nothing, but then zero vitamin D. Why do they even have it on there if it's zero? Little bit of iron, little bit of potassium, decent amount of thiamine, okay, riboflavin and folate. It's not. There's not that much nutrients, and this is enriched. It's really not that much nutrients. But once I get this into here, da da da, get it? So the sauce in the jar is a vector to make your veggie and herby sauce more rustic, and like you can just make it more dense with all sorts of good stuff. And the pasta part is just basically bread. Okay. And we're just using it as a nutrient vector. And the fact that it tastes great is makes it fun being a human being, right? So the fact that eating our nutrients is pleasurable is what makes us different from the like, because we could have been lithivores where we directly like ingested rocks and stuff. Um, and then maybe there'd probably be some kind of biological thing for that. But we're omnivores, meaning we'll basically eat everything, which is slightly frightening. Like, imagine aliens are watching us and they're like, well, what do these guys eat? And they're like, anything they can get their hands on. And they're like, get us out of here. These people are freaking hungry, man. Get us out of here. We could end up being we could end up being next. And then AI Atlas or whatever, Atlas 3 or whatever, 3i Atlas um spaceship or whatever is on that comet thing. And all those guys are like, we don't feel safe, and they all look around at each other and they're all like they're all like they have legs, but then they just look like walking chicken dinners. Like, imagine if they show up and they're just like actually in the shape of like two legs and a chicken dinner, and then everybody's just like nom 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 nom, and then all the legs fall over because of all the people who ate them, and then they're just like welcome to Earth. That's probably why. That's probably why they stay in the ships, because they're not too sure if we're safe yet. This might be more than one meal. This might be a meal tomorrow too when that happens. But the thing I like about sometimes making too much in one day is I can just have some tomorrow. Not that hard. And then I don't have to do as much cooking the next day, but I do like cooking. So then I guess I could just eat two dinners tomorrow. But hmm, I did enjoy coding last night. I just kind of wrapped up a fun part where I got the directional movement working good, so it'll work on keyboard or joystick type of gamepad. So I'm happy about that. Isn't this funny? Look how much work we've done. It's like, bam, the mushrooms are already done being chopped. So easy. Now, and the onion is the fastest thing ever. It just takes no time. Literally super, super easy. Now you're probably wondering, why is the mushrooms chopped so finely? This is what I would call like a more of a diced, a fine, medium fine dice shaped. And the thinking on it is I want it fine enough where the texture of the mushroom is not prominent. I want more of a like a semi-thick liquid sauce, not where I'll be eating it and a mushroom clearly stands out. That would be different. Uh, that would be more appropriate for a lasagna than a rigatoni arrabbiata sauce. Okay. For an arrabbiata sauce, you want the main what would that be like? reason for enjoying it is the spicy, the spice and the nutrients. It's not the no, it's not a texture dish. So it's a spice dish. Love having a bag nearby. I need another bowl to put this onion in. I'm running out of bowl space. Oh, okay, that's just my. Good. Let's see. I have been noticing that I've been having a lot more energy for doing stuff. Just feeling overall better. And which is interesting because usually when there's less sunlight this time of year, it's when it's like I start dragging a little bit. But I guess maybe it's the watermelon. Maybe it's having the fresh watermelon is a factor. Like I've had fresh watermelon every single day. Okay, for the last 2 weeks. I mean, that's a win. Organic watermelon that I grew myself. This is my first time trying to do this stuff. Only thing I've ever grown before this was just a little bit of basil. But the reason why I knew I could grow stuff was because when I had grown the basil, it just kept growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing like it was crazy. Like it was a crazy person. Even where people in the offices next door to me were asking if they could have part of my basil. They're just like, "Oh, can I have some of this for my food later?" I'm like, "Okay." And I was like, "Okay." But yeah, the cost of going out to eat these days is so funny. You could go out for one meal and that could have been the equivalent of enough groceries to make multiple meals. But I think what the key is it's less about the meals and it's more about the ingestible nutrient density. Okay. can your meals just have a massive amount of nutrients? Because, I mean, we can't just have iron, selenium, copper, gold, zinc, molybdenum, or I don't think we're supposed to even eat molybdenum. What is it? Silver, uh, small amounts. All these B12 stuff. All this stuff. Sure, you can have supplements and vitamins, but everybody I've talked to says that if you can get your vitamins and nutrients via food, it's superior. It's absolutely superior to getting your nutrients via pills. Like, without question, there's been studies on this. That's why all the nutritionists say, well, let's use food as your primary vector of getting nutrients into your body. And you might be like, well, some people can just get their nutrients intravenously, like let's say they're in a coma or something. And sure, it's like, okay, whatever. Guess what's happening though? Not all the organs are getting to do their work. So let's say you just take a pill, your your teeth and your jaw aren't chewing the food. The it's just not the same. The whole the whole body is part of the orchestra of digestion. Bam. Now we're back over here. Ah. There we go. Okay, let's check the camera angle. Seems good. Oh, I can add a little bit of power to my phone here. So it doesn't time out. Something I took for granted was that I set up additional transmitters for the live streams here. One, it's not very safe to do that. And that is helped out a lot. Okay, I put that. Stir it around. Because the reason with the onions first is I don't want anything to get burnt. Okay. I'm not going to be able to fit it all in probably. Okay. So I can only fit in this much. So it's not like I'm going to throw out the rest. I'm just going to have coffee. Oh, yeah. Okay. Start working. Get to work. Bam. A little bit of salt. I'm going to move this coffee right here. Okay. Arrabbiata is, I'll make sure I got this in there. Powder. garlic salt. At this stage, I'm gonna add some oil on the top. How much do I have left? I'm fine. So, 1, 2, 3. Chili powder. Okay. Lid it. Partial lid. This is where the magic is right now. There's a room for the garlic. Smells great. The onions are going to stir in their stew and just caramelize in its own juices. Not going to need any water yet. Eventually I will add some, but not yet. Water comes in after we add the sauce base. Look how much liquid came out. See? You didn't need to add any water yet. Oops, get back in there, too. Okay. lower the temperature a little bit. I'm gonna lower it more because right now I want to add seasoning. This is smoked paprika. We don't want to go overboard on this for an arrabbiata. If we were doing a marinara, even there you didn't want to go overboard. So since this kind of real smoked paprika is so strong, I'm only going to use about that much. Gonna let the chili powder and the cayenne pepper do the work. Watermelon rating. Just had the watermelon that was in the cup. And then watermelon cut. Someone say something? Shout out? Yes. Hi, shout out. Yes, of course we can always have a shout out. Please, someone's like, shout out, please. Okay, let's see. I think I missed him. Okay. Lena Cornell, 1847. Lena Cornell, shout out, 1847. Yeah, some of them, like, I'm getting shout out, please. Shout out, please. Please? Please. Lena Cornell, 1847. Here is your shout out. 1847? Dang. Probably pretty old. That's not that old, though. I mean, that's only 1847. That's only like 100. Let's see, math. 180 years would be 2027, and it's 2025. So that'd probably be 178 years old. Cool. Was it 1847? Yeah, 1847. So 178 years old. That's a ripe age. That's cool. That is. By the time I get to be 1847 years old, or no, or no, that'd be 1,000. No. By the time I'm 178, I'm going to be really puffed because of all the exercise. That's right. Shout out, please. Shout out. Oh, Cornell, where's the shout out? Okay, now we're at the key part. We don't want it to burn, but has the onion cooked enough yet? No, it hasn't. So we're going to lower the temperature to medium. Shout out. Okay, so I did that. 1020. Here. I don't need a pizza cutter. I'm gonna make a pizza. Ear mufflers. No, it's not that loud. Ear mufflers. Hmm. Oh. Should I start working on the seam? Yeah. I'm done with everything else. Hmm. Yeah, okay, now we go move on to the next step for sure. Otherwise, we're gonna burn the onions. I don't want to do. I want to make them dissolve, not burned. And the mushrooms are good shape. Try adding the juices. Okay. How much salt do I need for this one? I think right about there. Is who's? Oh, okay, no, that's good. There we go. Is 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 Lena Cornell 1847 still in the chat, or is that somebody else? It's amazing how the color just instantly starts to pop once you add the base to it. And then all the veggies that you put in earlier kind of accent the base's color. Are there any food coloring in these things? Let's see. Diced tomatoes, tomato juice, cottonseed oil. There you go. Dehydrated garlic. I put fresh garlic in this thing. Natural flavor. Diced tomato juice. Oh, the tomato paste. Tomato paste obviously gives it its color. See how all these veggies have simmered down into one thing? Before it didn't even fit. Now it all fits. Great. I get it. Okay, so it tastes great, but the problem is it's like, and the spice is right, needs more water to continuing boiling down, and it needs more salt. In terms of the pepper, maybe a little bit more pepper as I go, but the cayenne pepper's fine. I'm just gonna go black pepper as I go. In terms of heat, I'm gonna raise it to like 3.5. right temperature. We don't want to. Let's see. No, it's not. A little bit higher. Go. This is what you want to see is this separation right here. Like the oil needs to liquefy the onion, and then it'll start to separate, and then you'll see this bubbly stuff. That's what we want. And the mushrooms, they all the selenium in the mushrooms, I think, makes it liquefy stuff better. I don't know. I'm gonna look that up. Actually, I'm gonna look that up right now. But I think the selenium in the mushrooms changes how this all cooks. So I'm gonna double check that. Okay. Yeah, I looked it up because guess the hunch was on point where the mushrooms absorbed selenium from the dirt. Okay. And see that? The sheen is already changing. So what happens is that around the 40-minute mark, the mushrooms affect how the browning and the reddening process, I guess Maillard process, I'm not sure how that's pronounced yet, but the and then I always notice that it's more shiny, deep shiny color when I have mushrooms in it, as opposed to just tomatoes or something. Um, so looks like the selenium does play a role in that umami sheen. But all the texture and color is meaningless if it doesn't taste good. So let's verify the taste. Spice is good. The flavor of the tomatoes is good. Needs a little bit more. I haven't added much salt. I'm gonna go add a little bit more garlic salt. I don't want to add too much salt just yet because I haven't boiled down all the water yet. That's good. Once this gets a little lower, then I'll start to water, and I'll get additional liquid from the pasta water. I feel like I just stirred this, so really shouldn't be sticking that much. Um, so that means I need to turn down the heat a little bit. Let's look at. We know it's going to be closer to ready when it needs the extra water from cooking the noodles. So I need to lower the heat. I don't want it to stick. And I need to stay on top of it. So I'm going to err on level 2 for the heat because I'd rather it take longer than have it be a botch. Last time it tasted great, and I didn't even have real garlic last time. I just had powdered garlic. But I did have the I did have like the heirloom style tomatoes, which were awesome from the neighbor. The best. find out in 20 minutes. Hmm. It's almost gotten more liquidy even though I haven't added any water. It must be. Um, oh, something. Maybe the tomatoes are done cooking in it. So increase the temp to 3. Add a little more pepper. Overdo it on garlic salt. Chili powder is fine. Garlic salt is the worst to overdo it on. Yeah, this is the way it's moving around, not sticking. So something's definitely changed. Right. But I do want to eat this before New Year's, so we're gonna eat. turn up the heat, and start cooking the pasta sauce. Water, no, pasta noodles. More full than that. Bam. Okay, that's 4. I don't know. Oh, I don't want it to stick. That seems ready. This is, oh, today's gonna turn down so I don't burn. I'll do one more taste test just to make sure I'm on the right page here. Saucy, tons of mushrooms. Ooh, got some serious kick. All right. All right, all right. We're rocking now. Right? So let's talk about rigatoni versus rigatoni versus spaghetti and the kind of the cooking stages for it. So the pitfalls of spaghetti is when it all clumps up in a like mega noodle where it's all in one giant noodle. I want that. And the pitfall with rigatoni is when there's a kind of a couple. Okay, so rigatoni noodles can cluster together, and then they kind of create a mega rigatoni noodle, which we don't want. They also can get overcooked easily and undercooked easily. Spaghetti is a little more forgiving, especially the thicker spaghetti. It's like easier to tell if you're going to mess it up. I know people that love angel hair spaghetti, and I'm just not into it. It just tastes like weird to me. The texture's off. It's too thin. It's almost like pure texture. Ah, okay. Angel hair spaghetti, angel hair pasta doesn't get the soft edge around it that a thicker spaghetti does or a rigatoni does when it's done right. Or I shouldn't say right, I should say more like to my personal preference on it. So a thicker spaghetti kind of gets this like circular uh, secondary softness around it that absorbs the sauce better, and it's like a saucy sponge. So that way um, each bite has a nice layering of sauce to it, and um, angel hair doesn't doesn't have enough of a diameter to give its cylinder a valid area to absorb that much salt. It's more like these tiny little texture things where, I don't know, maybe angel hair pasta is like the sugar-free or non-fat version of pasta or something. But it's guilt, less guilt. I don't know. But uh, uh, rigatoni noodle is like really epic because a rigatoni noodle has a massive diameter and a hole inside, so you can get sauce stuck inside and sauce stuck around it. Okay. Um, Rigatoni noodles are more chewy. They have been sometimes they have an interesting, like in this one it kind of has a, what would I call it? Yeah, almost like a, not corkscrew, but a barber's kind of banding texture that gives it additional texture, so it's easier to grab. You know when you're eating a rigatoni noodle. Um, you know when, like, that noodle, like I'm eating the noodle versus uh, am I getting just some kind of chunky part of the sauce, right? So rigatoni by its very nature is great for chunky sauces. Okay. The only thing that beats out a rigatoni noodle for a chunky sauce, I'd say, would be something more like a lasagna. Um, and since this would, I would consider this, um, what would this be? Is this a chunky sauce? I would consider this. I mean, since everything was diced so finely, uh, I would say this is a chunky and thick sauce now that I've let it boil down. So, that sounds like a win-win, chunky and thick. Winning. So, how thick and chunky it is. I think I'm glad I have this nice cheese here. This is going to go well with it. I have a little bit of sharp cheddar left. Is this sharp cheddar? Extra sharp cheddar. Wow. Great. And I have a Asiago. Used to pronounce it with a Z, Asiago, but I guess that's not the United States pronunciation. Um, Butter. No. How chunky? Overcooked rigatoni noodles are worse than overcooked thick spaghetti noodles. They're just not good. So, and undercooked rigatoni noodles are fine if you're going to bake it in some kind of like baked rigatoni dish or something, but we're not doing that today. So, gotta stay on top of it. This texture's looking good. Gotta be when butter's you. Shoot for my butter. Anybody who's been watching this channel can probably now, like, if they had any question about whether a person can do things and manifest things, I would say someone who watches this channel is like, okay, if they had, like, let's say it's somebody who is like not sure about how to approach things. I think it's pretty self-evident now. How I do it is in the beginning, I'm not too strict about the plan. It's more about having an approach. How am I going to approach this? How am I going to identify what I need to do? Then, as you get closer to the target goal, closer to whatever you're trying to do, cooking a meal, growing a watermelon, whatever, you can fine tune your approach vector process as you go. You can always make fine adjustments later. Not everything has to be perfect in the beginning. You just gotta start and be willing to think about things in parallel and in series. Okay, so what do I mean by thinking about something in parallel? Well, if you've been listening, let's say, I don't think anybody's been watching this whole 2+ hours, right? But if let's say somebody was, right, they might hear a like thing, sound. And what that sound is, it's the dryer because I'm drying some clothes. Okay. Specifically, I'm washing clothes and drying clothes. So that's almost two things happening in parallel, meaning they're happening at the same time, you could say, but that process isn't really, it's never really like the clothes washing doesn't intersect with the process of cooking the dinner. Now, I might take a step away to, you know, put the clothes somewhere, maybe moving it from the washing machine to the drying machine. But it's not like I'm not going to put the clothes in the sauce. And I know that's because that sounds ridiculous, right? But if it was in series, the close would be directly part of the process of the sauce. If I was doing the close and the sauce in series, close would be like bam, doing it. Okay. So let's think about doing something in series. Well, you'll notice I didn't start the sauce until I chopped all the veggies for the sauce. I didn't work on the sauce like I didn't chop the onions and then start cooking them and then chop the mushrooms and then start cooking them. And I've done that before, but I didn't want to do that this time. Okay? And the thinking on it is I wanted everything with the sauce to be happening bam, 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 bam. On kind of, you could think of it almost as computer processing with a single thread, where I wanted to complete the process of chopping the onions. Then, no, actually, garlic was first. I wanted to complete the process of chopping the garlic. Then, on that same thread, complete the process of chopping the mushrooms, then complete the process of chopping the onion. Then, and only then, did I put them all together and begin the sauce process. So those ingredients for the sauce in this scenario were done in series, not in parallel. Okay, well then let's take a step back and think about the dishwasher, because I did a load of dishes. Was the dishes done in series or in parallel with the sauce? What do you think? What do you think? Were the dishes done in series or parallel with the sauce? With the dishwasher. Well, as I was cooking the uh, as I was cooking the sauce, I started a load of dishes. Okay, so the dishes were parallel to the sauce. Doing the dishes and running the dishwasher was in parallel to the process of the sauce. But am I lying? Am I lying to you? What do I mean by that? Could I be a little dishonest here? Because let's say, for example, there was a dish that I needed. Now, tonight, I haven't needed anything from it. I haven't taken anything out of it yet. But let's say there was. Let's say there was a cup I wanted for, I don't know. Let's say I was missing a fork and a cup. Cup for water to drink with the meal and a fork to eat the noodles, right? And I needed it from the dishwasher. Okay. So now the process of making the sauce is parallel to the dishwasher running, but once they're complete, a product of this dishwasher function, which one of the, let's say it's an array of objects are in that dishwasher, like forks, knives, spoons, and a bowl, and some cups. So an array of items are in that dishwasher that are been cleaned and dried. And so what happens is now that they're ready, and let's say the sauce is ready, the funny thing that happens is that the sauce is complete, the dishes are complete, even though they're functions and processes that are happening in parallel, when they're done, a super process of, let's say, eating the meal, I don't start the meal until I have the fork and the cup. So those parallel processes, once they're done, might be merged and are now in series, where it's like complete, 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 bam. Now eating the meal can be done in one thread. So let's think. What would be another good? So it's like you can have something happening in parallel and in series, and that actually does happen. Okay, so I'm gonna move the camera over here. See that we're almost done. No, we almost did it. Angle that. That one's gonna need a bigger sieve here. Okay, so I'm gonna power that down. Make sure all my range temperatures are turned off. I'm gonna add a little extra butter this time since this has got a lot of bite to it. That looks good. Okay. Okay. My noodles. Okay. Layer one. Right. Anybody hungry yet? Here we go. Bam, that looks good. A little cheddar. A little bit of cheddar. Great. Don't want to overdo it. Remember, if I have extra sauce, I can save it for tomorrow. It's not like I don't have to feel like I have to have all this giga amount of sauce in in one sitting. That would just be a little much. And just kind of painting the noodles. Happy little noodles with sauce. Sauce painters. Sauce painters available now. Sauce painters. Great. Did that. Cheesy butter. Well, that's right. I wanted to add some butters, additional butters to cut the spiciness. Don't want to overdo it. Little butter buddies in there. Butter buddies. Not a lot, but not a little either. No. Noodles. Noodles. Sometimes there's a temptation to add too many noodles to a little bowl. You don't want to do that. You want to make it so everybody gets the noodle fine. Yeah. A little bowl. And if ever anybody was wondering, I eat both of these. Lately, I've been just eating both. I mean, sometimes I'll save it for the next day, but I don't know. I've been doing so much work outside, and I just eat both myself. And you know, that's just how I am. I just like to eat. I mean, if I'm gonna make something that tastes good, why do I need to not eat it? I mean, just come on, you know. If I'm gonna be epic, I might as well be epic. I might have some left over. Cool, I can use this as a base for tomorrow's. Whatever. Make something tomorrow. Outstanding. Oh yeah. All your sauce distinctiveness belong to me. Access denied. Access denied. Access denied. Access granted. Asiago. 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 I personally don't really like that name. I think it would sound more authentic if it was Asiago. 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 I mean, that's how I would say it if I was in charge. Asiago. Sounds a little bit not quite as epic as how nice the flavor is. Okay. So, not done yet. Imagine giving this to someone you loved. Imagine giving this to Whoa, that one was weird. It almost looked like the way the light was hitting it. It almost looked like it was lower than it. That, is that pepper coming up on camera? I don't know. Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations. You did great. Oh my gosh, this is almost a 4 hour process. But didn't I do some? Oh, I did the watermelon and I did the coffee. So, I mean, yeah, this is. I bet I remember someone would watch the whole thing, they're like passed out. Oh, Wheeler Curse, why'd you do it? Thank you so much, everybody. Hope you have a great night. Happy meal to you.